Another gentle, flat, stark, bleak Norfolk scene. Just a very low horizon for this one. Mostly a sky picture. I was asked if I ever did paintings with buildings. Well, I did. I spent a year doing Impressionist Venice paintings for a gallery, which was a great exercise. I did it for a year, and we were just taking Antoine Bouvard, French Impressionist, photographs and just adapting the stuff. It's painted by numbers really, but it was a good exercise. But my great love is landscape. All I ever wanted to do years ago was to learn to paint trees and skies. And that's what I do, trees and skies, and landscape of course. And I put the odd building in as an object in a landscape, but it's landscape is my love. And the thought of wind turbines covering the coast, covering the landscape in Britain, fills me with horror. But there we are. That's my little rant. But I do love the English landscape, and there's still lots of it, thankfully. But the green belt, what we call it, is always under threat from developers and the pressure they put on politicians and backhanders, or you never know what they get up to. They won't be happy until they've made lots of money for themselves and concreted over the whole lot. But I just paint my little bit of it, paint what I want to paint. And I'm going to wet the paper all over on this one, well, on all of them, wet. I'm waiting for a delivery of Bockingford rough paper. £140. This is Fabriano. It's great for this sort of painting, for wet, but it's very slick paper and it's not so easy to dry brush on this. But a good paper. But the Bockingford, I want to try it, and it's coming in 50 sheets of 22 inches by 15, which is half imperial, which is a good landscape size, and I want to try to do some demonstrations using the larger format. Anyway, I'll just go and raise my. I have raised the phone. It's getting a bit dusky now, slowly, and I keep the artificial light in my studio here quite low. So I'll put in a sky, a bit of an overcast sort of sky. So we'll put just a bit of light cloud behind. Go all the way over there. Now Payne's grey, and a bit of that burnt umber. Missing a bit of yellow in with that. Just plonk it in, and a bit of grey, nice cloud. This is the second one today. I've also ordered a number 10 sable. I just fancy having a go with the sable. I've not. I don't normally use sables, apart from the cost of the things. But this one is about £7. Well, we obviously know it's not going to perform like a 122 Kolinsky sable, but hey ho. Nice bit of cloud coming, dropping the rain in there. I'll just add a little bit of colour to that foreground here. Right, so let that dry a little bit. some distance. Some distance in there. I want the landscape to be lower than that bit of a fence I put in there. Very faint in the landscape here. Alright, it's a bit burnt umber. So you see there, just I'll just block that. I didn't want that to come down into the too much into the landscape there. I just re-clipped my paper. I put sort of the umber in the sky. I might go in front of that with some more cloud, but I don't know. That I quite like the way that's gone. And this heavy bit here, but I might do. Right. Now we're going to put in some distant salt marsh. I'm using lemon yellow, Payne's grey, burnt umber. Just that all the way across there. Right. And I've got to vary this, the colours in this. I want it all nice and flat and level and, well, slightly undulating maybe, but there's some shadow in there. Bit more green. Leaving some unpainted bits. There is a colour underneath, so that's okay. And we'll, a bit more green coming towards us. Right. A heavy cloud just casting a bit of shadow on this. Right. So a little bit of shadow cast by the banks of marsh grass here. Just warm it up a little bit. A little bit of that umber. Just flicking some grasses. going to put in this tree here, this sort of windswept tree. So it's just the greens. Oh, that's it. I'm using those colours with my rigger. So we have several trees in there, I think. Just like a stunted tree, like a blackthorn. Shadow under there. Some grass, just a grassy bank showing up here. And we can bank of this grass is sticking. Just a clump of it. And just a bit of detail. I want to do this fence now, burnt umber and Payne's grey. Right, there's a gate here. I was trying to show that looking random there, but my dry brush actually worked. And I don't want them too ahead of this. Pencil showing there. Right, just show some trough. Very quite difficult trying to paint a lot of nothing. But that's largely what the Norfolk Coast is. The salt marshes are very beautiful. And I might not be, well, I'm probably not doing justice to them. But anyway, I'm going to put in a slightly heavier cloud under here. Burnt umber. And a bit of Payne's grey. A bit of water, probably ruin it now. by wetting the paper as well, you can I don't know about that. Really dry. I get my post just a little bit darker. Right, just going to strengthen up this a little bit. Not sure about this. I can't say I'm having a great painting week so far. And it's very hard to keep up a standard if I've got a standard. But I still have to paint. Put that on there. Let's see what we've got. Let's put it in the mount. There's no great focal point other than the starkness of the fence, but it's not really come out. Let's put a bit of shadow under it. For that with a rigger, and I'm just sort of flooding it with a bit of, oops. Okay. You can make the colour move by putting some clean water underneath where you put the leach paint on. Let's just add a little bit here and there. Right, let's put it in the mount. Let's have a look. The mount might improve it. So it happens to be here. The blue mount. Well, that's all it is really. Just let's tilt that. That's better. Let's go into it, have a look, see what I've done. Just a fence and a tree in the Seago, well, Seago type of landscape. Came from Norfolk. And a big sky. But remember, these are wet in wet. The paper is not really suitable for working wet and dry. At the same time, it's lovely to be able to put some random water on the sky here and there, put your colour in, and then you get the lovely shapes of the white paper showing against the harder edges of the dried paint, and you can flood it with water, move it without it going like this. And that was a bit risky, but that bit was quite lucky. They're okay. Don't mind those so much. But it's a very drab sort of scene, and I hope you got something from that. I will put it on YouTube as an example of the sort of landscape that I like, the peace and tranquility of a big sky and almost nothing landscape, but then profound simplicity, hey? Thanks for watching, bye bye.